Hey guys, this is Tim with the University of Vinyl, back with another video today. There are a plethora of contests that have sprung up again in the VC, and I'm going to do two or three of them hopefully today, tomorrow, the next day. But today's video is going to be for Logan over at the Swellheads network. I've recently have been made aware of his videos. And this guy has got an incredible array of wide breadth of videos that he's done, huge varying taste in music. I like his stuff. A couple of the things that I've kind of found an affinity for. I'm a big REM and Steely Dan fan, and I've noticed that he has focused on both of those bands on a couple different videos. Particularly REM, he's got a huge collection. So anyway, Logan is celebrating 700 subscriptions, subscribers in the VC. Hey man, well done. That's fantastic, and I hope to get there someday. His contest is a lot of fun. So I heard him describe this, and I thought, oh, I'm going to have to do this. So. What his contest is he wants people to show 5 albums or artists that you are convinced that you are really the only fan of, or this is only for you, and you would be shocked to think that anyone else would appreciate either the album or the artist. So I've got a mix of 5 today that I'm going to do, either a specific album of an artist. Or an actual artist, themselves. And let's get going. So anyway, congratulations again, Logan. And here's my response. So, number 1. Now, this guy, of course, you can always count on Neil Young to defy expectations over his long career. And this particular album that came out in 1986, Landing on Water, was really kind of over the top. And of course, this came out on Geffen Records during, he had a 10-year run, I believe, on Geffen. David Geffen actually went as far as suing Neil Young because he wasn't putting out Neil Young albums. But this thing is way over the top, and I actually love it. I had this on vinyl when it came out. I was in college when this thing came out, and I played it incessantly in my dorm room. My roommate at the time thought I was nuts. Because the music on here can definitely grate on people. So the production on this thing, it was produced by Danny Korchmar. He was one of the session guys from the 70s that was on every other album by Linda Ronstadt, James Taylor, Carole King showed up on a couple of her albums as well. And then later on he worked with Don Henley, The End of the Innocents, etc. But he produced this for Neil Young in 1986. Some of the songs on here, well, back to the production. So the drums are mixed incredibly high, and there is also a very high synth quotient on the album. So, not your typical singer-songwriter Harvest or Harvest Moon type of Neil Young album that I'm sure David Geffen wanted him to produce for him or put out. Hard to believe that 3 years later, Neil Young would come out with Freedom, which is probably one of his best albums of his later period. But Neil's still going strong, of course. Some of the songs on this album I love. Hippie Dream, just a total freak out guitar solo in the middle of that. The violent side is good. Weight of the World, People on the Street, Hard Luck Stories, I Got a Problem. Anyway, some crazy album art. Landing on Water. Definitely, I don't think this is for your typical Neil Young fan, but I love it. All right, number 2. Paul Davis. Cool Night. Paul Davis, what can you say? This guy was around in the late 70s, early 80s, and he had a string of top 40 Casey Kasem, top 100 Billboard hits. This album actually has 2 of them. The title track, Cool Night, and 65 Love Affair. I don't know. This guy's kind of schmaltzy, cheesy, but it's good music, and I won't say it's an everyday pull for me, but I will throw it on there when you're doing other things on your computer, etc., background music. I really like it. Anyway, Paul Davis, this particular album is Cool Night. I've got a couple of his albums. So here is an artist that I love. This guy. I've got everything that he has ever put out. But when this came out, this is Pete Townsend, the Iron Man. This is the soundtrack to a play that he wrote. And I'm not sure on the whole background on the Iron Man, if it had a run on Broadway or anything like that, or off Broadway. I think it might have run actually in La Jolla in California at one point in time. But this came out in 1989. When you think Pete Townsend, a lot of people think, well, all the cowboys have Chinese eyes. That's probably my favorite solo album by Pete. But this thing didn't get a lot of love. The cool thing about this album is it actually had a couple songs where he got back together with Roger Daltrey and John Entwistle, i.e. The Who, and those songs were Dig and Fire. But there's some good songs on here. Of course, he had a duet here. I Eat Heavy Metal with John Lee Hooker. He actually had a couple songs with John Lee Hooker here. Over the Top is track number 2. Fast Food was with Nina Simone. Interesting album. The Iron Man, the musical by Pete Townsend. Probably pretty much overlooked these days, but I think it's a great album. All right, I'm going to go back to the 80s here. 1986. Invisible Touch, Genesis. Now, your VC, your audiophile snob are going to say, that's not Genesis. This is not The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. What are you talking about? That's, top 40 pap. But hey, this music was all over the place in '86. It was ingrained in my mind at that particular time. I still love it. It's good music. Land of Confusion with that crazy video with Ronald Reagan and Thatcher in it. The clay motion stuff. That was pretty funny at the time. What else is on here? Throwing It All Away. Actually, a very pretty song. But this album by Genesis is one that your dyed-in-the-wool Genesis fan is not going to name in their top 3, I would imagine. And trust me, I like all different periods of Genesis, but I still like this album. Okay, last but not least, Partners in Crime, Rupert Holmes. So I have almost everything that Rupert has put out. Rupert is derided and kind of castigated as a one-hit wonder, which I don't think is true. This album, of course, has got Escape, the Pina Colada song. Everybody knows it. I think it actually went to number 1 or number 2 on the back to the Billboard charts. When this album was released, this album came out in 1979, sorry. But, this also had an Answering Machine on it. Partners in Crime is a good song. Lunch Hour is a good song. Rupert Holmes is known as a storyteller, a singer-songwriter, and all of his songs told stories. If you listen to Escape closely, you'll find out it's about a guy planning an affair. It's actually a pretty funny song. There's the back cover. But Rupert Holmes, check him out if you haven't already. This is kind of a funny. I actually showed this in a previous video. I recently picked this up, sealed copy for $4.30. I can't not pick up a clean Rupert Holmes album when I find it. Anyway, congratulations, Logan. 700 subs. That's fantastic. Keep on trucking, and I appreciate everybody checking in today and watching the video. I'm going to put Logan's channel down in the comments, and if anybody else likes Rupert Holmes, let me know. I'm just curious. Have a great day.